Look at this nice Matt Ryan jersey I have to represent their new uniforms. It would be such a shame if he got traded anywhere. No. He'll forever stay in Atlanta, right? I was dead wrong. Welcome back, everybody, to Everyone Sports. My name is James, and today we are talking about the Atlanta Falcons trading Matt Ryan to the Colts. Updated video schedule coming out for this week, hopefully. Deshaun Watson to the Browns, and then after that will be a free agency kind of recap a little bit with Darius Smith going to the Vikings. That's when that will be talked about, and then hopefully by the end of the week we get a baseball video out. Hopefully, it just really kind of depends on everything goes. And my birthday's on Friday, so happy birthday to me. But anyways, Matt Ryan to the Atlanta Falcons, gone to the Colts. It's weird. And I like this move for the Colts because it makes them better than they were. And that's always a good move when it makes you better. It helps Atlanta out in the cap space, and we'll get to how bad they're going to be. Like, oh, they're going to be bad for a few years. Let's how bad they're going to be in a second. Let's talk about the Colts first. If the Colts can outstand the Titans, the Tennessee Titans, the one seed in the AFC last year with Derrick Henry, you're thinking to yourself, it's going to be pretty difficult. Well, try looking at the Chiefs, who have to outstand the new and improved Broncos with Russell Wilson now at the squad, who is much better than their quarterback play, and they still won 7 games. The Chargers, who were a fringe playoff team and added Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson, who are already pretty stacked deep, already pretty good defense with Joey Bosa and Derwin James last year, but now it just gets better with Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson. And then you have the Raiders adding Devontae Adams, the best wide receiver in the game. So the Chiefs have to outstand all that, and vice versa for the Chargers, vice versa for the Raiders and the Broncos. Well, then you go to the AFC North, and you have having the Ravens having to outstand the Browns. Who knows how good they'll be. The Bengals were just in the Super Bowl, and the Steelers always seem to be pretty good. They've never had a losing record as long as Mike Tomlin's been there. So, who knows what the future holds in that division? It seems pretty tough. It seems like there's 3 teams you got to outlast. All 4 teams could potentially be playoff teams. AFC East. Patriots have had a down offseason. Dolphins can kind of be scary. The Jets are the Jets. So the Bills seem to have that one locked down. Then you move to the AFC South, and you have the Jags. Worst team in football, has the number 1 overall pick. The Texans just lost to Deshaun Watson. Their best option is Davis Mills, but they got a lot of picks for him. So 3 first-rounders. 3. So they're going to be pretty... They have a lot of first-rounders for that trade. Then but they're still, don't really have the talent. It's going to be a new head coach again. It's a rough outing right there. Should have kept David Culley, by the way, if you were literally just going to hire Lovie Smith. But then it's like the Colts and the Titans. And the Colts should have been a playoff team last year, but they lost to the Jags. Again, the worst team in football because Carson Wentz. And you have the Titans. And Ryan Tannehill showed how bad he really can be. And we don't know how Derrick Henry is going to be fully 100% coming off the injury. I personally think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be great. But if the Colts can just outlast the Titans compared to some of these other tougher divisions, then they're a playoff team. And with Matt Ryan right there, who is basically just like this Phillip Rivers accusation, I think he's going to do fine. They won 11 games with Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers, 24 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. That's probably about what you're going to get from Matt Ryan. Touchdown-interception ratio-wise. The difference is they have Jonathan Taylor now. They had Jonathan Taylor back then, but he wasn't as flourish. They were still mixing in Marlon Mack. They were still mixing in Naeem Hines. All of that. Jonathan Taylor's a full-fledged beast now. And if they can give it to him, it's basically going to be which team can find ways to lose first, with the Titans and the Colts. And with that roster, I think I like the Colts defense better. I think the Colts are now my favorite to win the AFC South. I know it sounds crazy with the team with the best running back in the league in Derrick Henry, in my opinion. But the defense with Darius Leonard on the other side and DeForest Buckner is just really good. I haven't done much in free agency, but getting Matt Ryan there to a team that was a fringe playoff team last year, this kind of only elevates them to make the playoffs if they can outlast the Titans. I don't think this team is good enough to be a wild card team with how stacked these other teams are, because the AFC is going to be a gauntlet next year. It's going to be it's literally going to come down to the final seconds of how good these AFC teams are going to be. And there's going to be blowouts, right? Like, every team's going to get blown out once they're the seed, unless you're, like, too dominant. Like, look at the Packers. Okay, Packers are number 1 seed, 38-3 in week 1. The Rams got basically blown out by the Niners on Monday Night Football. Won the Super Bowl. Bengals basically got blown up by the Jets. We're in the Super Bowl, so bad losses are going to happen, but it's going to get down to a point where those bad losses are going to decide your fate. Look at the New Orleans Saints. That week 3, week 2 loss to the Giants in overtime at home, which should have been a very easy win right there. You win that game, they're in the playoffs. So these early September games are going to have a lot of deciding factors, and it's going to be which teams are going to get hot first. Now, I can't really say what teams these are now. Obviously, I got to look at the draft. I will do another deep overhaul of free agency because there's been a lot of moves. My brain's, worried about other things. But this move right here, I think if they can outlast the Titans, which I do think as of right now, they can. And the Colts are a playoff team. And that's ultimately what it is. I don't see Super Bowl out of this. I'm going to be honest, I do not see Super Bowl. I see exactly what Philip Rivers is. One last ride. They gave him a 3-year contract. They gave Matt Ryan a 3-year contract. I don't know the exact money terms, but I know it's 3 years. He got his 3-year deal. He's going to be fine. I don't see Super Bowl. I don't. I think the AFC is too loaded. I think the Chargers, Chiefs, Bills, Broncos with Russ, Ravens, and then I would go Browns with Deshaun, but I don't know if he's playing or not, so maybe I wouldn't. But then maybe I'd go Colts with, and you never count on the Patriots. They were just in the playoffs. So, could they win a Super Bowl with Matt Ryan? Yes. Would it take a lot? Yes. But do the Bengals, I predicted them? No. But as of right now with Matt Ryan, over the course of this 3 years, I don't see a Super Bowl out of this team. I don't see a Super Bowl. I see them making the playoffs because they'll outlast the Titans, but I do not see them winning a Super Bowl. Matt Ryan, I think the next couple of Super Bowls are going to be like the Bills, the Chiefs, Chargers, like the AFC West, the AFC North, and then the Patriots, and then the Titans as well. And that doesn't include the NFC teams that you got to count with. The Green Bay Packers, Tom Brady being back in Tampa Bay, the Rams, the defending Super Bowl champions, Dallas if they ever get their shit together. Oh, that's it. Okay. So as you can see, the AFC is way more loaded. However, look, I think it's a good move for the Colts as of right now. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I just don't see it Super Bowl, but it is a clear upgrade from Carson Wentz. Moving on to the Falcons. They're going to be bad. Bad. B-A-D. Bad. Their best offensive player, Cordell Patterson. And he's a great player. Calvin Ridley's spending for a year, however, doesn't look the best. It clears cap books. It doesn't look the best. And Cordell Patterson being the other side, he's a good player. He's a fantasy jewel. I would probably suggest taking him in the 4th round this year. Their best defensive player is AJ Terrell, and he's a corner. They really have no dominant edge, Brett. Grady Jarrett's gone. They don't really have any safety help. It's a bad team. It's just a really bad team. I think they're going to be the worst team in football this year. Looking at the Atlanta Falcons, they got Marcus Mariota. He's going to be a bridge quarterback. Hopefully you draft a quarterback. You should be able to at 7. I think no, they pay like pick 11 or something like that. But they should be able to get a quarterback in that spot if they really want one. I wouldn't suggest taking one. I'd suggest waiting until the other second round because it looks like Malik Willis is going to be gone. But Malik Willis could probably fall to Falcons. If Malik Willis is there, you're taking Malik Willis. Like, take Malik Willis, dude. Kyle Pitts is going to be there to help, like, give a great tight end boost, I guess. But, again, there's not really much explosive defensive talent. And their offense consists of Mariota, who hasn't started a game in, like, 2 years and got benched for Ryan Tannehill. And Ryan Tannehill succeeded, so Mariota's not the best. But he can run and move around a little bit. Cordell Patterson, he's fun, explosive playmaker. And Kyle Pitts, he's a slot receiver, tight end. I guess his versatile weapon. But the receiving is not there since you lost Russell Gage and Calvin Ridley's gone for the year. So it's Olama Zaccheaus as your number 1. So definitely need to draft a receiver. The Atlanta Falcons team need a lot of help. Okay, no dominant edge rush. AJ Terrell's pretty solid. After that, you get nothing. You need some safety help back there. So, yeah. The Falcons team isn't great, and it's not even good, and it's not even okay, and they're just bad. The Atlanta Falcons are going to be the worst team in football next year. And they're going to be rebuilding, and that's okay. Teams need to go through a rebuild process. We knew this was coming. When Julio started getting older after the 2023 game, Matt Ryan started getting older, and they were both on the same field at the same time, and they were going to play pretty good, and they were missing the playoffs. That's when he kind of suspected it's time for them to go into a rebuild. They lasted so long, 14 seasons in Atlanta. They did their hallelujah. Yeah, it's time for the Atlanta Falcons to rebuild. It's going to be a rough couple years, however, because the Braves are going to be doing this, the Hawks are going to be doing this, and the Falcons are going to be the lowly Atlanta Falcons. How long will this rebuild take? Depends on if you got the right guy in there. I don't know if you have the right GM in there. I have questions about Arthur Smith as head coach. So this could be anywhere between 3 years and 10 years. And they've kind of been in a rebuild for a while, but not admitting they're in a rebuild since like 2018. So, yeah, this could be a very long process for Falcons fans. And I feel bad because they're not going to be good next year. I think they're going to be the worst team in football. They're going to be them in Seattle and Jacksonville. Finally, an AFC team that's weak. But even I'd probably take Jacksonville over Atlanta and Seattle right now with Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence up there. Future-base wise, because I don't think Drew Lock is a franchise quarterback anymore. I thought so. I had hope. I don't think he is. I don't think Marcus Mariota is your franchise quarterback. As of right now, for the team I would rather start with for the next 10 years, and would actually have hope of them getting better, purely based off Trevor Lawrence being the quarterback, someone who could actually kind of develop, and Josh Allen on the other side, and like the fact that they're actually out there spending money in free agency, I would go with the Jags. They've made so many moves to boost up the offensive line, to give him receiving options, and like Zay Jones, which isn't like they're great, but they're trying. They're hoping something sticks. Tony Khan's doing something. So he's out there, or Shad Khan, excuse me, not the AEW guy. Shad Khan is doing something. So these Jags are at least trying a little bit. So I think they're going to be a much improved team. However, I still have them going 6-11. So. But that is where I stand. I think it's a clear upgrade for the Colts. I think they're probably going to make the playoffs if they can literally just outlast the Titans, but I do not see a Super Bowl. And the Falcons are going to suck. Let me know what you guys think of this move down below. Atlanta fans, so sorry. It's going to be a rough process this year. You're in a weak division, though, so maybe you can luck into some wins. And I feel as bad every Sunday. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think of this move down below. As I said, hopefully it's Sean Watts' video, then our big free agency recap video, then baseball. Baseball. Thank you for listening.